What is up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I'm, as always, your grateful host, Cam Williamson. Great to be back with you today. They're coming after my boy, the Mad Hatter himself, Edward Scissorhands. You know, they're coming for him. He's been ridiculed and kind of tore up in the media for the last, 2-3 years. His ex-wife, Amber Heard, after their split, went to a news outlet and said, and this is very important, that she was now going to be an advocate for people in abusive relationships, and she was proud to be able to use her voice to speak on it. Now, this was after her public split from Johnny Depp. So she did not use his name when she said that. She also did not say that he hit her, right? She came out in the news, and she had bruises on her face and stuff like that, and she just kept talking about abusive relationships in kind of airily mentioning the relationship she was just in with Johnny Depp. Okay, let's talk about Johnny Depp for a minute. He has been the face of a lot of mystery, conspiracy. When he kind of first blew up in Hollywood, he bought a club that became the Viper Room, which is where River Phoenix died of a drug overdose. Johnny Depp was not there. Because of the drama with that, there was a lot of issues with the club, and that club's owner went missing. A lot of people speculate weird things about Johnny Depp, and that I don't think there's any foundation there. So already we have these weird, ooh, he's a bad guy kind of vibes. I don't agree. Then throughout his years, he has relationships where he's known to be quite the drinker, and he, does some drugs and stuff like that. But when women split with him, they still adore him. They love him. And in this situation where his name is being smeared, his ex-girlfriend's sisters are coming out. People that he's worked with for a long time, his ex-girlfriends are coming out and saying, this is not the person I know. Even through all the drugs and the drinking and everything, that is not the person I know. Right? Now, Amber Heard never said that Johnny Depp hit her. She showed up in the news right before one of her new movies was to release with bruises on her face talking about abusive relationships. So is she kind of implying things? Yes. Is she saying directly that Johnny Depp has done these things? No. People break up on a Monday, and by Monday afternoon, they've got someone else, and that someone else can do whatever. We don't know. She could be training for the movie that she was, getting ready for. We don't know. So the charges, there was some kind of charge drummed up, right, of Johnny Depp and abuse, and it was found to be not founded. It was not, he's not guilty of abusing Amber Heard. Then there's this slap law that comes out that says essentially it's her right, even though it was found to be not true. It's her right as a human being to retell her story the way she remembers it, right? Whether that be right, wrong, or indifferent, she's allowed to tell her story. Okay. So then Johnny Depp is now suing her for defamation of character and a couple $1 million. A couple $100 million, I think. Because of all the implications of it being him. And, I find this interesting. Her attorney in opening statements yesterday kept drawing smug attention, saying that Johnny Depp is obsessed with one of Amber Heard's exes, Elon Musk. Okay, here we go. So just like with Jada Pinkett Smith, we have a woman that seems to like the attention that she gets from being with a public figure man. Let's remember, Amber Heard is known more as Johnny Depp and Elon Musk's girlfriend, not for her acting and her shenanigans now in the media. I find it very difficult when women knowingly get in relationships with what we'll call mysterious men. Johnny Depp is a mysterious man. He doesn't like to be in the public. He's said, quite frequently, he doesn't like going to openings and award ceremonies and stuff like that. He'll do it as little as possible. And he moved to France to be out of the media limelight. So I find it interesting when you have someone who stays with notable men and then seems to cause drama in their lives to stay relevant. I noticed that, at least. Now, she said she was in an abusive relationship with a man who drinks a lot and did drugs. Do I believe that she was mistreated? Absolutely. Do I believe that Johnny Depp probably can speak quite harshly and can, treat people in ways that is less than kind when using those substances? Absolutely I do. Do I think that they should be together forever and all this? I don't know. I'm not a part of their life. What I want to talk about is, after a relationship comes to a close, this idea that you can just trash people's names, right? Because this is what happens. You usually have two people in a relationship, right? One person is more authentic with themselves, and the other one is more playing a role to fit the relationship, right? And then in that, there's an ebb and flow balance. Sometimes that changes. Hopefully people balance out and they stop doing that. But usually there's one more than the other. Johnny Depp has always been very authentic to who he is. A damaged rocker, drug-drinking soul. He doesn't try to hide it, but he doesn't want to engage it in the public eye either. Amber Heard, very public, will kind of chameleon herself to whoever she's with, but they're always successful men. Then the separation happens. The notoriety is going away from this one, and the other one is going back into their isolation, which is what they do. They live their personal life. And then the trashing start. Oh, this is what happened to me, and this is why it was so bad, and this is why it was this, and this is why it was that. It was like, okay, was a crime committed? Were you actually assaulted? Those are important questions, right? Because then you go out as a victim saying something happened to you, right? If you had a bad relationship and bad things happened and you were treated poorly, you can still speak on that, but that's different. This is where I get irritated now with things like TikTok and Reels, because everybody's a fucking narcissist to everybody now. The person that you were with is not a narcissist just because they treated you in ways that you didn't like. Right? There are set ways that narcissistic people treat and abuse and manipulate people. People doing things out of alignment with what you would like them to do is not narcissistic behavior all the time. Absolutely, it's going to fall in that category when a narcissist does things that only benefits them all the time. But again, going through the ebbs and flows of a normal ass relationship where people piss each other off and get fine again, and then one person stretches a boundary, and then this person gets pissed, and it's always this. To come out, especially when you are as publicly known for being in these public relationships and talking about being in abusive relationships, and also no one mentioned Elon Musk possibly giving her these bruises. They all pointed their fingers at Johnny. So it was like, oh, why? He's the dark, mysterious drinker, drugger guy. And then what did you see Elon do when he first started wanting to be in the limelight? He goes on Rogan, he's drinking some whiskey, he hits the pot, he does all the shit to give him this kind of... Then he starts hosting SNL where he's got this swagger, and now he opens Tesla with the cowboy hat, and he's kind of got this new, suave movement to his shoulders when he talks. We get it. We get it. So we have these people that like being in the shit, being in the limelight, playing the dance, and being in the news. And then you have someone who really likes their life to be private. And this group over here is going to now be the cool kids in high school. And hey, let's pick on this guy. Let's shit on his whole life. yeah, we're not going to really say anything, but we're going to imply some stuff so that way rumors can start, and then the rumors will do our job for them, which is to just shit on this guy for no reason. And luckily, I think unfortunately as well, because Johnny Depp's career was hurt by this quite a bit, if nothing else, just the way his fans perceive him, having that stain as a possible domestic violence abuser is not something that you can come back from to most people. It's amazing to me in our world how we allow such people to easily come back and keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. Some things I don't see as a mistake. Having an issue with alcohol or drugs and mistreating people, you can make a lot of mistakes in there. Raising your hand and hitting another person, right? That's a different level. That you're changing from I'm speaking things to you, I'm saying things to you. That's why there's escalations of force in the military and in law enforcement. Us engaging in verbal conflict, we can do certain damage to each other. The second that I bring my hands up and now I start to assault you, that's a different ball game that we're fucking around in now. Because the trauma that can be inflicted on someone is so massive. And it all depends on the size of the person throwing the punches to the size of the person receiving them, whether there's slaps, punches, objects being thrown. There's intimidation, there's assault, there's all these things wrapped into this, right? And we get so easily blended with our words where we start to use words like abuse so casually as if we use it like racism today, where everything's racism, everything's abuse, everything's traumatic. I'm not here to invalidate anybody's life, right? I am here to say, though, traumatic to you, right, and unfair to you, and against what most good people would do to another human being is one thing. Being abused is a different thing. There's a spectrum of human behavior. That's why murder and attempted murder are different, right? That's why crimes of passion exist. And then, you don't get exemption for non-premeditated because you premeditated that shit and you planned it out and you did it. I believe if you go on a smear campaign to just fuck with somebody's name, hold on, I think you should have to pay for that. Now, for smearing somebody's name, should you do prison time for it? That's a little harsh, I think. I think we also overuse the jail systems in this country a lot. We put people in jail for dumb shit, like tax fraud. What the fuck are you putting somebody in jail for tax fraud for? The fuck? Come on. Give me a break. It's not all that serious. We're about to lose the camera. Pause real quick. My sincerest apologies. The battery died on the camera, and I think we're onto something good here. So hopefully I can remember, and we can slide right back into it. But I will say, with the shaming of people's name publicly, should you do jail time for that? No. I was going into having people in jail for tax fraud and how silly that is. No. Again, that's like putting someone in jail for not paying child support. You're not doing any good to the punishment that the crime that they've committed or the wrongdoing that they've done. They can't remedy that in jail. If you're a murderer, if you've raped someone, if you've abused someone, if you've attempted to steal something from someone in an aggravated way, you should be confined. Confinement serves a purpose for the time that it serves. After it serves its purpose, it becomes what? Traumatic and torturous. Now, we have to look at everyone's mental involved. The big question or the big thing in today's day and age is if you even put someone on trial, can't almost anyone in today's day and age claim that they were traumatized as a child and get off and say, well, I have mental health issues and I'll go do 6 months in a, psych ward and I'll come out. I get tired of seeing this. I'm glad that our judicial system seems to be putting a good stamp on this. There was a kid recently who shot up, I believe, a school, and he tried that, and they were like, no, dog. Even though you say that you have a demon in your head that told you to do this, you fought it off for how long? Couple weeks, couple months? Well, that means you knew the shit was wrong. Whether the demon was in your head telling you to do it or not, you knew that you were at some point battling with the demon, and therefore there was time for you to get help. So you can create these scenarios all you want to try to get out of trouble, but you're showing through your words and your actions that you knew better. If you knew better and did it anyway, that's a whole different ballgame. Now, being in the confines of a relationship between two human beings, adults, some of them engage in activities that cause your personality and your behavior to change on a drastic level. Maybe some do or don't involve themselves in that. I don't know what Amber Heard does. But let's just say stresses have been high in the house. Somebody's not getting as much work as they want, and this is this and this is that. Now the drinking is involved. Man, fuck all this. And fuck you too, by the way, just because I'm in a mood. Is that right? No. Is it human? Sure. Is there healing and stuff to be done in it? Abso-fucking-lutely. So does Johnny Depp need to heal as a person and grow up and change things about himself? Probably. Don't we all? Yes. Does Amber Heard need to grow some? Probably. Here's the thing. There's this new wave of stuff that I like where people are trying to heal publicly. I like that. You can get support. It's hard, especially when the trauma is yours. And in your life, you have the people around you. A lot of them either contributed to the trauma or look the other way or just completely invalidated what you've said, never listened to you when you try to bring it up, or they brought it up as, oh, that's just, the way you were raised and that's the way everybody's life is. Life's tough. All these types of ways cause people to go publicly to find support. That I can appreciate. Before you go public with telling a story, you should always ask yourself, and I've found this to be beneficial in a recent happening that's gone viral on TikTok, which is the story I told of me when I waited tables and served an ex-NFL player. And he, just had bad character. And I kind of put the teams that he played for, but that was it. And people spend more time guessing who that is than just listening to the story, judging the character, and moving on. They have to know who it is so they can smear them. And I tell them constantly in the comment sections, like, if this really happened, why don't you just say the name? And it's like, because people grow. This story happened 10 years ago. He didn't break any laws. Everyone likes to also point out tipping's not mandatory. They're correct. It's not. But treating other people with kindness and respect is not mandatory. It's just a part of being in a healthy society that is focused on helping one another. So sure, we all fall in and out of that. And I don't believe in smearing someone's name, thank God, as well, because this video has almost 400,000 views on it. Someone told me that a clip of it made its way on ESPN. I don't know how true that is. I haven't seen anything. I've looked. I haven't seen anything. But something is driving a lot of traffic to this video. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of it is they just want to smear the person's name. They figured out who it is in the comments. But it's like, of course they would. When I saw that documentary, like Don't Fuck With Cats, when you see people band together for a purpose, whether it's a good one or not, but in that case there was a serial killer out there that was hurting people and animals, and these motherfuckers like bound together, like saved images, blew them up, looked at street signs, figured out where this guy is, and fucking nailed his ass. And it was like, yo, the power of the internet is strong. So we have to, like I've been saying with Travis Scott, Kanye, Kyle Rittenhouse, that's a lot of fucking things that kind of went together name-wise. Your influence matters. The things you say, the things that you imply, they matter, right? So if you're implying that you're drinking 4 shots of pre-workout on your YouTube channel, and then a 16-year-old kid that subscribes to your channel and buys all your merch and buys your shit, and he dies because he does that, are you responsible for that? Well, You have a legal responsibility to put a disclaimer. Hey, I'm joking, or hey, I'm a professional and I know I can handle this. Stuff like that. Don't do shit like this. But with the way that social media is today, there's a transparency almost as if I can reach through this screen and touch you. Like I could stroke your face because in a way, you could know me so well. I'm pretty open. I talk about a lot of shit in my life. I am willing to take the back seat of blame, and I'm willing to, from Jocko Willink's book, Extreme Ownership, try to take extreme ownership in every situation because I just found that it benefits me the most to do so. If you own a situation and go, I was wrong every time. And, more important, let people say whatever the fuck they want. And like in Johnny Depp's situation. There will always be people that find benefit from shitting on you. And they can say whatever they want. A popular one with the Me Too movement was sexual assault and domestic violence. That became a very popular thing for false allegations to come out. Now, there was a lot of valid allegations that came out as well. I'll point that out. But it became a weapon to start smearing someone's name. We forgot that slander and libel and shit like that, you can't do shit like that. You cannot, because it genuinely affects people's lives. We forgot that with cancel culture. Somewhere in the era of Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, we lost justice. Anyone can say anything and be deemed guilty because trials take too long and people's attention spans aren't that long to actually find out. And then there's no papers posting retractments of, oh, hey, Johnny Depp really didn't do this. So, the possible Alice in Wonderland 3 that they were going to make or whatever, all these movies that he supposedly suffered from losing, now there's some back and forth with that. His team claims no, everyone supported him a lot, whatever. In my opinion, I think this is a ploy for attention. It was used at a time that the person claiming these things sought to benefit from the story she was telling. And let's not forget this, guys. When people are used to manipulating other people and manipulating attention, they can get to a point where the lies they tell, they also believe. I knew someone for quite a few years. Now, I didn't have a lot of contact with this person, thankfully. But I watched this person for years would literally do something. They would be doing something here. And they could turn around and you go, why did you do that? And they would go, I didn't do that. You're like, yo, I saw you do that. And they would go, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And you could see it in the eyes. They genuinely believed at that point that everything that just happened over here didn't happen. Because now it served them to believe that. Now, I believe there's a lot of survival mechanisms in that, defense mechanisms, guards, things like that, right? It's when a person has clearly crossed over the line of obliviousness, where like, hey, yo, you're clearly caught, and you still try. That's when you go into gaslighting and manipulating, and then you get closer down the narcissistic spectrum. And then you have to look at people for who they are, and you go, oh, you simply can't be trusted. I can't trust you with your word. I can't trust you with your actions. Therefore, I can't have you around me. I can't have your input around me. And also, I can't have your influence rubbing off on me. So when I see that you're in a movie or you put out a new album or whatever it is, I have to make a choice. Even if I see that it's number one trending on Spotify or whatever, I have to make a choice that I'm not going to engage in that. Now, if some day comes that I feel it within myself that I need to investigate a part of a story further, I can always do that. But first and foremost, I can always protect myself and my energy and my attention and choose not to focus on things just because people seem to gain quite often from other people's misfortunes. And I host a show glorifying the redemption of the misfortune. Because one of two things will always happen. You're going to destroy someone, or you're going to piss them off to the point where they build back strong enough to fuck you up. People, human beings, are one of two. When shit happens, when life happens, and the bigger you go for life, the more people that will come after you and will say shit about you. It's just the way it goes. If you're not cut out for being spoken about and being lied about and being whatever, stay off of public outlets. Because if you're putting something out, you're saying, I have a message to share. Miss me with all the bullshit of, oh, I just put that up for my friends. Fuck off with it. Because your friends have the ability to be good people and bad people. They could share that with whoever they want and share your message of what you believe. And also we know the game of telephone doesn't play well. The message gets diluted almost immediately. So I return to our question always of what is our motive, right, in labeling people so quickly with things, when everyone wanted to just believe that Johnny Depp was a domestic abuser. It served people in some way to be able to go, well, he wears weird clothes, he makes dark movies, he's a mysterious guy, her allegations are this, therefore it finds me comfort within my soul to find alignment in all these. Even though I don't know. I've otherwise enjoyed his entertainment and the things he's brought the world. He's been known to be a very kind guy, very loving, very, very caring. He's made his mistakes, but he's always bounced back from them, with people still having nothing but positive things to say about him other than this one instance, where again the person serves to gain from it. We see that a lot today, don't we? It's unfortunate. But I think, again, it's all in people like Johnny Depp standing up for himself and going, fucking no. You're not going to sit around and imply shit about me, and you're not going to sit around and, trash me and shit and make a name off me and make your career off me. I'm not going to let that happen. Nope. So he did the only thing he can do. And people are commenting on their appearances in the courtroom. Johnny Depp showed up in a pretty professional suit. Looks like he's put on some weight. I don't know if it's from a role or whatever, but putting on weight during a court proceeding shows me one thing: you're not stressing. You lose a bunch of weight during a court you're stressing the fuck out. He's nice, healthy weight. He's wearing a suit that's a little big for him, but he's still got the rings on. He looks like Johnny Depp. Amber Heard, again, don't know much about her. She's got a nice gray suit on. Hair looks good. Professional. She looks more like a lawyer. And it's good. But someone pointed out something very important that I saw, which was like, the jury already knows, right? They know who Johnny Depp is. So him showing up in this clean-cut, buttoned-up whatever, that would be weird to them. Him showing up exactly as he is, unapologetically, is good for him, because then everything that's said about him, and I'm guessing he's going to own up to some shit in this and be like, look, I'm not claiming that I've been a saint my whole life, but I've never harmed you. I've never done any violence towards you. I've never assaulted you. And I've never in any way caused like intentional trauma to you in the ways that you're claiming I have. If I've hurt your feelings and I've, at times invalidated you and I've at times not put your needs where you feel like they should have been, I'm willing to stand in that. But I did not assault you. That has to start meaning something in these stories. And it also requires the people that are being accused to be willing to stand up and say it. That was the thing that wasn't happening for a long time. Because of Twitter and because of Me Too movements, people were told to sit down, be quiet, let it die off, whatever. But then they're just losing years of their life being torched to death. And it's easier to do that than stand up and fight and talk and, actually go through some really rough shit. It's easier to hide away, especially during a pandemic. It was easy to just tuck away, go away, And who knows what happened to some people that got canceled during this time? Who knows? I mean, look at Bill Cosby. He's out. He's free. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Look at the whole Epstein thing. Nothing happened. Nothing. But everybody gave a serious fuck about that. I don't know. I love you guys so much, and I genuinely value your time, and I hope to only serve you with things that benefit your time. Ways to look at life that maybe other people in your life hope that one day they could say, but maybe I could say it for them and for you. So you allow yourself to let it marinate for a minute and go, gosh, maybe this life isn't so bad, but it's being painted by a bad artist. Whether that be my perspective, whether that be the thing that the world pays attention to the most, all these things can be individual artists painting a mirage of a collective that we see. I encourage you to become your own individual artist and start creating your own fucking reality. Use the observations throughout your life. Go back in your life and look at times in your life, times that you were acting out of pocket, times that other people were acting that way towards you. Find ways to find empathy, sympathy, and understanding and forgiveness in all of it. And then treat every situation that you see that might be trending or whatever with that same compassion, empathy, sympathy, forgiveness, and understanding to a point. I find confusion a lot of the times when we highlight these stories where people are found to do terrible things to children and we know that they did it, and then we televise the court proceedings. Why? Why? Because we need another serial killer documentary in 10 years from now? When it's interesting enough to make a movie about because enough time has passed and this psychopath is whatever? How can people still sit around not fully believing and understanding that you're being distracted at all times from doing what's important to you and what you know you should be doing? Again, I love you guys so much, and I hate to see people be manipulated, controlled, and genuinely, abused in situations, because subconsciously implanting things into people's mind about other people should be considered an abusive type thing if it's not true, because people hold real admiration and respect for people, and especially I see it with parents a lot. When parents get alienated and a parent will get just completely shit on to the kid by the other parent, and it's like, yo, that should be a crime. That should be a crime, that you're trying to make someone dislike another human to the point where they don't want anything to do with them ever again. And that you feel like you're justified to do that to somebody. When did we become so bold? When did we become so egotistical that we think that we would never be capable of such things? Some people are so comfortable lying to your goddamn self that you forget what murderous thoughts go through your head when you get crossed over or cut off in traffic or somebody mistreats you or talks to you crazy. But in the moment that you're reading a story about somebody else, you don't feel that way, so you don't feel like you're capable, so fuck that person. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink is a book that I think everyone should read. I think it would serve this world quite well in today's day and age. And with that, I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Today's Wednesday. I got both my kiddos this weekend, so I'll be hanging out with both my daughters. Hopefully that actually goes through. It seems like it's going to this time, so that's good. And I'm excited for that. So I will more than likely see you guys on Sunday night, maybe, if I can get a vlog of the weekend put together. But most likely I'll see you guys Monday. I love you so much. See you.